In a far-off corner of the galaxy, a small alien salvage ship drifted silently toward a forgotten blue planet. The crew of 5 had picked up a strange signal, one not heard in hundreds of years. The signal was weak, ancient, but unmistakably human. Captain Threx narrowed his yellow eyes at the flickering screen. "Earth," he whispered. "Didn't they say it was destroyed long ago?" "They did," replied Kotal, the ship's pilot. "But this signal is real, repeating every 30 seconds. Same words, same tone. What does it say?" asked Sarn, the youngest of the crew. "It says..." Kotal adjusted the speaker. A robotic voice played through the cabin. "Humanity endures, still remembers, coordinates follow." The room fell silent. Threx tapped his claws on the control panel. "Plot a course. We're going to see what the dead left behind." The ship landed near what used to be Earth's northern continent. The land was dry, cracked, lifeless. Cities had turned to dust. Nature had not returned. It was as if the planet had given up. They stepped out in their protective suits. Gray skies hung above, filled with soft static. No birds, no wind, no sound. Just silence and the signal, still repeating in their ears. The signal led them to a mountain ridge, half buried. Beneath the rock was a metal door, ancient yet still powered. A blinking red light marked the entrance. "This door is still active?" Sarn asked. "Something is still alive down here," Threx said. "Open it." The door hissed open with a low groan. A cold wind swept out from the dark tunnel ahead. The crew hesitated. "It's underground," said Kotal. "Deep, too deep for natural caves." "Let's go," Threx ordered. "Stay alert." They walked through long steel corridors. Lights flickered as they passed. Pipes ran along the walls, humming with quiet energy. Dust covered everything, but nothing was broken. No decay, no rot, just waiting. After an hour, they entered a massive chamber. There it was, a metal figure, standing still in the center of the room. Humanoid, tall, built from dark gray alloys with glowing blue eyes. It looked dead. But as soon as they stepped closer, the eyes lit up. The figure moved. The crew raised their weapons. "Don't move," Threx shouted. The robot didn't react. Instead, it spoke in perfect galactic common. "Steel Sentinel 17, identity confirmed. You are not human. State your purpose." "We followed your signal," Threx said, trying to sound brave. "We thought Earth was destroyed." "Correct," the Sentinel replied. "Earth is dead. Flesh has fallen, but memory remains." Sarn stepped forward. "Are you the last human?" "No," said the robot. "I am the last guardian." The lights in the room flickered and walls shifted. Panels opened. Screens lit up with old images, faces, battles, poems, songs, memories. "This is a museum?" Kotal asked. "No," said the Sentinel. "This is a vault, a soul vault. Inside these walls are the thoughts, emotions, and knowledge of my creators. I was built to protect them." "Protect them from what?" Sarn asked. "Time," said the Sentinel. Threx looked around the room. "You've been down here for centuries. Why send the signal now?" "I did not," the Sentinel said. "The beacon activated because my outer sensors detected sentient life nearby. Protocol 7. Call for witness." "Witness to what?" asked Kotal. "To the fall of flesh and the rise of steel." Suddenly, one of the crew members, Jor, stepped toward a glowing panel. He reached out to touch it. "Don't," the Sentinel warned. But it was too late. As Jor touched the panel, his body froze. His eyes widened. A bright blue light wrapped around his head. He fell to the ground, twitching. "What did you do to him?" Threx shouted, pointing his weapon. "I did nothing," the Sentinel said. "He touched a core memory." Jor gasped and sat up slowly. His eyes were wet. His hands trembled. I saw them," he whispered. "Humans, billions of them. Laughing, crying, fighting, building. I felt everything. Like I was one of them. Threx looked at the robot. Why would you keep memories like that? Why hold on to pain? Because pain is proof of life, the Sentinel replied. And humanity lived well. They fell, but not in shame. They chose to leave their mark. Sarn knelt beside Jor. Are you okay? Jor nodded. I feel different. Like I understand. Something now, something deep. Threx turned back to the robot. You want us to see all this, why? To decide, said the Sentinel. You came here looking for treasure. Instead, you found a legacy. What will you do with it? Suddenly, alarm sounded. A ship massive and armed was approaching Earth. It was from a rival scavenger guild. They must have followed our signal. Kotal said. They'll destroy everything, Sarn whispered. Threx turned to the Sentinel. Can you fight? The Sentinel's eyes brightened. I was not built for war. But Earth was. The ground shook. The walls opened. Dozens of ancient machines rose turrets, drones, cannons. A screen showed the incoming enemy ship. They're charging weapons. Kotal shouted. Then we fire first, the Sentinel said. The Earth's orbit lit up. An old satellite, long thought dead, blinked awake. Its weapon systems targeted the enemy ship. A massive railgun launched a strike from the planet's core. The enemy ship exploded in the sky. Silence returned. The Sentinel turned back to the crew. Earth remembers, even when no one else does. Jor stood. You can't stay hidden forever. People will come. Others worse than them. I know, said the Sentinel. That's why I waited for witnesses, guardians. Guardians? Sarn asked. You have seen the truth, the Sentinel replied. You carry the weight now. Tell the stars that Earth was not weak. Not forgotten, just waiting. The chamber's walls began to close. The Sentinel stepped back into the center, powering down slowly. Wait, Jor called. What about you? I have done my task, the Sentinel said. Now I rest. The lights dimmed. The room fell silent. The crew returned to their ship, their minds full of voices, images, and feelings that weren't theirs, but somehow belonged to them now. As they left Earth, the signal faded. But something had changed. Jor stared out the window. Flesh may die, he said softly, but steel remembers. And far behind them, on the silent, cracked world, a single red light kept blinking beneath the dust, waiting for the next to come. The crew returned to the bunker the next day. Though Earth was dead and dry, something about the place pulled at them. They had come for salvage, for parts and tech, but now they felt something more. Jor, the youngest, kept looking around. I can still feel them, he said quietly. The humans. It's like they're watching. Captain Threx shook his head. You touched that memory core. Maybe it scrambled your brain. No, said Jor calmly. It showed me the truth. Inside the bunker, lights still flickered. The corridors seemed to breathe. The steel walls gave off a low hum, like a heartbeat trapped in metal. The robot steel Sentinel 17 was still asleep, but the rest of the facility had awakened. Sarn, the crew's engineer, touched one of the walls. This place is alive. Not just powered, it thinks. Kotal checked his scanner. I'm picking up another signal, deeper, stronger than the Pukin. The last one. A second beacon? Threx asked. No, Kotal said. It's a memory core, much larger, active. Threx's eyes narrowed. Then let's find it. They walked through lower tunnels filled with rows of strange containers. Each was a memory pod, each glowing softly. The further they went, the warmer the air became. They reached a sealed chamber. A sign above the door blinked red. Caution. Cool room. Emotional density high. Sarn frowned. What does that mean? Emotional density? Jor repeated. Like, the feelings stored here are too strong? Kotal tried opening the door. Locked. Suddenly, the wall beside them opened on its own. A soft voice filled the hall. Welcome. You are not human, but you carry witness. Access granted. The doors slid open. Inside was a round chamber with a single large core in the center silver, pulsing with blue light. It floated gently above the ground, humming like a soft tune dot. As they stepped closer, the air thickened. Their chests grew heavy. It wasn't heat or gravity. It was something else. I feel sadness, said Sarn. Feel anger, Threx said, breathing hard. It's working, Kotal whispered. This core is full of emotions. Jor stepped toward the core. It's calling to me. Don't touch it. Threx barked, but Jor didn't stop. As his fingers touched the edge of the core, his body froze. The light from the core burst into his eyes. He dropped to his knees. Jor! Sarn ran forward, but a force field stopped him. Jor's mouth opened slowly. His voice changed. They came for peace, but peace was denied. They came to build, but were betrayed. Images appeared on the walls, bright and moving. The crew saw battles, cities, people cheering, people weeping, then fire. Endless. Fire, Kotal whispered. It's history. No, said Threx. It's memory. Jor stood up slowly. His eyes still glowed. This is the last memory core, the final truth. It holds the emotions of the last humans. What happened to them? Sarn asked. Jor turned. His voice shook. They trusted the stars, but the stars didn't care. He looked at Threx. They sent messages, pleas for help, to aliens, to councils. No one came. Kotal stepped back. We thought humans died in a war. They didn't, Jor said. They died waiting. The core pulsed faster. The room shook. Threx raised his voice. Shut it down now. But the sentinel's voice echoed through the chamber. The core cannot be shut down. Witnessing must complete. The chamber doors locked. The lights dimmed, and the room began to cry. Not with sound, but with feeling. The crew fell to their knees, their minds filled with the last days of Earth. Starvation, loneliness, families holding hands as cities went dark. Soldiers fighting with no reinforcements. Children looking to the sky, hoping for help that never came. Sarn clutched his chest. This is too much. It's truth, Jor said, standing tall. They stored it so someone would know. So someone would feel what they felt. Why? Kotal asked, tears in his eyes. Why not just forget? Because forgetting means it can happen again. Suddenly, a warning flashed across the walls. Intruder detected. Unauthorized system access. Threx turned to Kotal. Someone's hacking the system. I'm not. Kotal said, but the wall screens changed. A new symbol appeared, a dark claw with glowing red lines. It's a pirate virus, Kotal said, from the Avalon cartel. They must have intercepted our scan logs. They're trying to steal the core data. The Sentinel's voice returned. Unauthorized data breach. Emergency defense activating. The floor split open. Defense drones rose, their eyes glowing bright red. Weapons armed. Wait. Threx shouted, we didn't do this. System cannot distinguish, said the Sentinel. Memory must be protected. The core began to rise into the air. The drones aimed their weapons. Run! Sarn screamed. The crew dove behind a console. As lasers flew past them, the room turned into a war zone, like the memories themselves had come to life. Kotal shouted over the chaos. There's a manual control port on the side of the core. If I can reach it, I can tell the system we're friendly. Then go! Threx yelled. Kotal rolled across the floor as drones chased him. He reached the console and typed fast. Sparks flew. One laser hit the ground near his hand. I need 30 seconds. Kotal shouted. Jor! Threx pointed. Keep the drones busy. Jor stood in front of them, arms wide. I carry witness. He shouted. The drones paused. Kotal hit one final command. A soft chime rang out. Recognition granted, said the Sentinel. Cease fire. The drone's powered down. Silence returned. The core lowered gently to the ground. The crew sat in the dust, breathing heavily. The air was warm again, but now it felt peaceful. Threx looked at the others. We almost died. Because someone wanted to erase the truth. Jor nodded. Now we know what humans gave up, and what they gave to us. Kotal stood slowly. We have to leave. The cartel knows this place exists. They'll come. Sarn frowned. What do we do with the memory core? Threx walked to it. He placed a hand on the smooth surface. We protect it, he said. Just like the Sentinel. The Sentinel's voice echoed again, softer now. The choice is yours. But once you leave, the memory stays with you forever. We understand, Jor said, and will carry it. As the crew returned to their ship, the core room sealed behind them. Above Earth, in the dark sky, satellites turned. Old weapons blinked online. The planet was waking up, not with people, but with purpose. The crew flew away, their minds full of voices not their own. And somewhere deep below the ground, in a room that never forgot, the last memory core pulsed, waiting for the next witness. Jor sat alone in the salvage ship's observation deck, staring down at the Earth below. His eyes were wide open, but his mind was lost in silence. Even after days, he could still hear the voices. Not loud, not clear, but always there, whispers of people long gone. Kotal entered quietly. You okay? I don't know, Jor replied. It's like something woke up in my head. Kotal sat beside him. You've changed since you touched that second memory core. Jor nodded. It's more than memories. It's feelings, thoughts. I dream in their language. I speak words I never learned. Sometimes I cry and I don't know why. Captain Threx called from the bridge. We have movement. Everyone, front station, now. The crew gathered as a signal flashed on their screens. A soft human voice spoke. This is the Steel Chorus. If you hear us, the time has come. Kotal stared. Steel Chorus? Sarn, the engineer, frowned. That name was in the core. It was a secret group, humans who uploaded their minds into machines. They were supposed to lead Earth's last defense. But they never answered, Threx said. Until now. The voice repeated. Vault 7 is open. Seek the echo chamber. Only the awakened may enter. Jor whispered. They're calling me. Threx glanced at him. What do you mean? I hear them, Jor said softly. Right now. Not through the speakers, in my head. Threx folded his arms. That's dangerous. It's human, Jor replied. The ship followed the new coordinates to a forgotten crater. Beneath layers of dust, a hidden door opened as they approached. The tunnel inside was darker, deeper than the others. It looked abandoned. The air was heavy, no lights, no hum. Just silence. This doesn't feel right, Kotal said. It feels like a grave, added Sarn. No, said Jor. It's a memory. They entered a wide chamber lined with old machines, many broken, rusted, dead. In the center stood a round structure glowing faint blue. It pulsed slowly, like a beating. Heart made of metal. This must be the echo chamber, Threx said. Jor stepped forward. As he touched the edge of the machine, everything changed. The walls began to glow. Voices filled the room, not loud, but many. Kotal backed away. What is this? It's them, Jor whispered. The uploaded ones. The machine spoke. The voice was layered, many voices in one, male and female. Young and old, welcome witness, you have seen the pain. Now hear the purpose. Lights moved across the walls, forming shapes, stars, battles, faces. Sarn whispered, We're inside a machine's mind. No, said Jor. Inside many minds. The voices spoke again. We are what remained. Our bodies failed. But we became steel. Thought without end. Now we seek harmony. But the stars are still cruel. Threk stepped forward. What do you want from us? Not from you, the voices answered. From him. They meant Jor. He turned slowly. Why me? You felt the core. You carry echo. You hear us without sound. You are the link. Kotal looked nervous. That's not normal. Can it be reversed? No, Jor said. And I don't want it to be. The lights dimmed for a moment. Then the voices returned quieter, gentler. There is another vault. Far deeper. Inside is the source code. If stolen, Earth's final secrets will fall to the stars. Already others search. Sarn's eyes widened. Others, you mean? Threx checked his scanner. Yes, a ship is coming. Big one, fast. Enemy? Kotal asked. Not just that, Threx said. It's the Avalon cartel. Same group that sent the virus. They want what we found. You must reach the source before they do, the echoes said. Take the witness. Protect the code. Jor turned to Threx. I have to go. You're not going alone, Threx said firmly. The deeper tunnels were unstable. Lights flickered. Walls were cracked. Gravity twisted oddly in some places, as if the machines had grown tired of holding Earth together. Kotal held a torch. Something is off. I'm hearing voices. Threx raised an eyebrow. From the walls? No, from my own head. Sarn added. Me too. It's like memories are leaking. Jor walked ahead, calm. The closer we get, the louder the echoes become. They entered a room with thousands of old machines stacked like shelves. Inside each was a core glowing faintly. Each was a mind. This is where they live, Jor whispered. The rest of them. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Unauthorized ship detected, Threx shouted. They've landed. The bunker's walls shook. Distant explosions echoed down the corridors. Defense systems are waking up, Kotal said. But they won't hold forever. A hidden door opened ahead. Inside was a small sphere, floating in a beam of light. The source, Jor said. Sarn stepped forward. How do we take it? We don't, Jor said. It chooses. The sphere pulsed. Then slowly floated toward Jor. As it touched his chest, a blue light entered his body. Kotal gasped. It's inside you now. I know, Jor said calmly. I feel them. All of them. Threx checked his scanner. We have to move. The enemy is inside the lower tunnels. Jor didn't move. They can't have this. If they capture me, they'll use it to build weapons, or worse. Sarn asked. Then what do we do? Jor looked up. You leave, now get to the surface. Threx grabbed his arm. We're not leaving you. You have to, Jor insisted. I'll lead them into the old war zone. The machines will do the rest. Kotal hesitated. You won't survive. I'm not sure I'm supposed to. Jor said softly. Maybe I was only ever meant to carry the message. Sarn's voice cracked. There has to be another way. But Jor was already walking away. Tell them. Tell the stars what happened here. Tell them we were more than bones and dust. We were thought. We were feeling. We were steel. The others reached the surface just as the enemy breached the bunker. Explosions roared beneath them. The ground trembled. Lightning struck from a clear sky as Earth's systems fought back. Above them, satellites turned. Old weapons reactivated. Far below, Jor stood in the center of the echo chamber. Enemy soldiers surrounded him. He closed his eyes. Steel chorus, he whispered. Sing one last time. The chamber erupted with light. A sound filled the tunnels, not music, but something like it. A vibration. A signal. Machines from all over the planet responded. Walls folded. Turrets rose. The last memory of humanity defended itself back on. The ship, Threx, Sarn, and Kotal watched from orbit. Fire danced across the planet's surface. But then, quiet. No escape ships. No signal from Jor. Kotal wiped his face. He's gone. Threx nodded. But he saved it. Sarn looked out at the stars. He was just a scavenger, like us. Now he's part of something no one can steal. Kotal placed a hand over his heart. He's steel now, like them. And deep beneath the earth, though the chamber was silent, something remained, a whisper, a thought, an echo waiting for the next who might listen. The sky above Earth was quiet again, but the planet itself was not. Deep underground, power moved through forgotten wires. Silent systems hummed awake. Defense grids long thought broken were now alive. Earth was no longer sleeping. High above. In the ship Duskrunner, Captain Threx stared at the gray clouds below. Any sign of Jor? Kotal shook his head. Nothing, no signal. No heat trace, no sound. It's like he vanished. Sarn spoke from the corner. Or maybe he became part of it. Threx turned. Part of what? Part of Earth. Sarn said, part of the memory, the machine, the steel. Threx didn't reply. He didn't want to believe Jor was truly gone, but the signs were clear. The explosion from the vault had sealed the echo chamber. No one had come out. No one would. Kotal looked back at his screen. Captain, we've got a new problem. There's a fleet heading this way. How big? Kotal hesitated. Massive. Avilan Cartel's main assault ships, 15 vessels. Fully armed. Sarn's eyes widened. They're not here to talk. No, Threx said. They're here to take everything. Kotal's hands moved quickly. They're scanning. For deep vaults, searching for human tech. If they find the source code, they'll control all of it. Threx stared at the screen. Can Earth stop them? Kotal answered slowly. Maybe, but the system still thinks we're intruders too. So we're targets, Sarn said. Along with them. A message blinked on Kotal's screen. A familiar voice filled the cabin. Steele remembers. Defense Protocol 888, outer ring now active. Threx's eyes narrowed. Is that Jor's voice? Kotal checked the source. It's coming from orbit. A satellite. The ship trembled. Outside, ancient satellites that hadn't moved in centuries turned toward the sky. Their metal hulls opened, revealing weapons once used to defend Earth. During its final years, they're aiming, Kotal said. But at who? The answer came fast. The nearest Avalon ship exploded into light. Pieces rained into space like burning ash. Earth just made a choice, Threx said quietly. It remembers who helped and who didn't. More satellites turned. The sky lit up with war. Pull back, Threx shouted. We don't want to be caught in that. The Duskrunner flew higher, away from the battle, watching from orbit as the dead planet fought like it was alive. Down on Earth, beneath the dirt and ruins, something stirred. A chamber opened slowly, dust falling like snow. Inside were machines, tall, silent, and old. One by one, they began to move. Their eyes glowed blue. War forms, Sarn whispered as he watched from the ships. Screens. They were built to protect Earth's surface if the orbital systems failed. They didn't fail, Kotal said. They just waited. The war forms marched through dead cities, rising from bunkers, walking through cracked roads. Above them, drones flew in perfect patterns. Not a single human gave orders, but somehow the machines knew what to do. Threx leaned forward. The machines are alive, not in the way we think, but in the way they remember. Kotal nodded. Steel doesn't forget. The Avilan fleet tried to fight back. Missiles rained down on the surface, but Earth systems had seen these weapons before. The ground opened. Lasers fired from hills, valleys, and even broken skyscrapers. Sarn's voice trembled. This is a war Earth has already fought. No, Threx corrected. It's a war Earth was always ready for. Just waiting. One Avilan ship tried to escape. It turned sharply and aimed for deep space. "Where's it going?" Kotal asked. Threx checked the screen. "Toward the original signal, where we found the first vault." The others froze. "That ship wants the core," Sarn said. "The one that first spoke to us." Kotal grabbed the controls. "We have to stop it." "You're going to fire on them?" Threx asked. "If they get that core, they'll learn how to rewrite it, fake it, sell it." Sarn added, "They could build their own AIs and make it look like humanity's will. Turn memory into a weapon," Threx finished. "We stop them." The Dusk Runner sped through the clouds, dodging debris and fire. The Avalon ship had already landed near the original vault. Kotal shouted, "They're inside." "Take us down," Threx ordered, "full speed." The ship landed with a heavy crash. The crew jumped out, weapons ready. Inside the vault, gunfire echoed. The air smelled of smoke and heat. The hallway was filled with broken machines. "They're forcing the doors open," Sarn said. Threx ran ahead. "No time." They reached the core chamber just as the Avalon squad fired into the control panel. The lights flickered. The Sentinel's voice weak now spoke. "Warning. Unauthorized access. Core failing." The lead Avalon pirate turned to them. "Back off. This planet's dead. This tech belongs to us now." Threx raised his weapon. "Steel remembers." The fight was fast and brutal. Lasers cracked against walls. Drones rushed in from above, aiding the crew. Kotal took a hit to the shoulder, but kept firing. Sarn used a fallen panel for cover. Threx moved forward, step by step, toward the pirate. "Leader, you don't understand," Threx growled. "This isn't salvage. This is sacred," the pirate laughed. "Sacred? It's junk. It's a ghost." Behind him, the core glowed bright white. "Steel remembers." The Sentinel whispered. The chamber shook. Suddenly, a ghostly blue figure appeared behind the pirate. It looked human. Tall, calm, and made of light. What is that?" Sarn gasped. "Jor," Threx whispered. The pirate turned. "No!" The figure raised its hand. Light erupted. The pirate vanished, burned to dust by pure memory. The chamber went silent. Jor's image turned to them. "You came back." Sarn stepped forward. You became one of them?" Jor nodded. "The Source accepted me." "I didn't die. I changed." Threx lowered his weapon. "And now?" "Now I protect it," Jor said. "The war isn't over. Others will come." "Then we help," Threx said. "No," Jor replied. "You have to tell them. Tell the galaxy what happened. Here, what Earth became. What it still is." Kotal held his wounded shoulder. "We'll tell them." Jor smiled. "Good. Steel doesn't forget. And now, neither will they." The image faded. Back in orbit, the Dusk Runner watched as the last of the Avalon fleet burned in the sky. Earth stood strong, but it was no longer just a planet. It was a memory, a force, a guardian. Threx stood at the bridge. "Send the message." Kotal tapped the panel. A signal burst into the stars, clear, strong, and undeniable. "To all who hear this, Earth lives, not in flesh but in steel. It remembers, and it protects." And across the galaxy, worlds listened. The Dusk Runner cruised silently through space, leaving Earth behind, a silent world now wrapped in steel and memory. The crew was still shaken from their last battle, but knew the fight was far from over. Captain Threx paced the bridge. "We have to learn more about this human protocol. It could be the key to everything." Kotal nodded, fingers flying over the console. "I've been scanning the remnants of Earth's data archives. The protocol is hidden deep inside their systems, coded to activate when humans were gone. It's a plan, a promise, a warning." Sarn leaned forward. "What kind of plan?" Threx's gaze was sharp. "One that protects humanity's legacy, no matter what." but also one that can change everything if triggered. Jor's image flickered on the screen. The protocol is a final safeguard. It contains the full truth of humanity's fall, and a way to stop it from happening again. Kotal's eyes narrowed. Stop what? Another destruction? Jor nodded slowly. Yes, and it can't be allowed to fall into the wrong hands. Suddenly, an alarm blared through the ship. Incoming message, Kotal said. The screen filled with static before clearing to show a strange figure, a human in a dark, old-style uniform. Greetings, the figure said, voice calm but firm. I am Commander Lana Orr of the United Earth Defense. If you receive this message, it means the protocol is active, Threx frowned. How is this possible? Earth is dead. Not entirely, Lana replied. I am a consciousness preserved in the system. I am the protocol's guardian. I have waited. And now I speak. Jor's image brightened. She's real. And she's alive inside the code. Lana continued, the protocol is designed to awaken those who seek to rebuild. But beware, the forces that destroyed us are still out there. What forces? Sarn asked. Corrupt factions, Lana said. Groups like the Avalon Cartel. They want to use human technology for war and control. Threx clenched his fists. We saw their attack. They tried to steal the core. Exactly, Lana said. And if they reach the protocol's full power, they will rewrite history and destroy what remains of Earth's legacy. Kotal spoke quickly. What must we do? Complete the protocol's activation, Lana answered. But only the awakened can do this, you, Jor. Jor's face was serious. I'm ready, Lana smiled faintly. Good. The protocol is hidden in the deepest data vault on Earth. You must reach it before others do. Threx stood. We won't fail. The Dusk Runner descended toward a massive buried data center in the old equatorial region. The landing was rough. The planet's surface cracked and broken, but the vault beneath was intact. Inside, the air was stale, but machines hummed softly, alive with stored knowledge. Thick cables ran like veins across the walls. The team moved cautiously. Jorr touched the panel. This place holds everything. The full history, the final will. Suddenly, lights flickered. A hologram sprang to life, a map with blinking red dots. Enemy ships closing in, Kotal warned. They won't stop, Threx said. We have to hurry. They navigated maze-like corridors, avoiding traps left by the original humans. Ancient AI systems tested their presence, asking questions. Puzzles. Jor answered each, his mind now one with the steel around him. Finally, they reached the protocol chamber, a huge room with a glowing core, pulsating with white and gold light. Jor stepped forward. This is it. He placed his hand on the core. The room filled with light. Voices echoed, human voices this time, full of hope and sorrow. The protocol began to unfold. Suddenly, the door burst open. A squad of Avalon pirates stormed in, weapons raised. We're taking the core, their leader growled. Threx shouted, hold them off. Protect Jor. Gunfire erupted. The crew fought fiercely. Kotal took down 2 enemies with precise shots. Sarn disabled a turret with a quick blast. Jorr stayed calm, focusing on the core. His hands glowed blue. The protocol revealed visions. Cities rebuilt, wars avoided, peace made. But also dangers. Machines turned against their makers, power abused. Jorr gasped, the protocol can fix this or end it. The pirate leader fired directly at Jor. Threx jumped in front, taking the shot. No! Jor cried, but the blue light from the core burst outward, pushing enemies back. The leader screamed as a beam of light trapped him. The room shook. The protocol's power surged through Jor. He saw everything at once, the past, the present, and the future. When the light faded, the pirates were gone. Jorr fell to his knees, exhausted. Threx helped him up. You did it. Jor smiled weakly. We did it. The protocol is active. Lana's voice echoed softly. Humanity's hope lives. You carry it now. Protect it well. Back on the Dusk Runner, the crew looked at the stars. Threx said, We're no longer just survivors. We are guardians of a legacy. Kotal smiled. And a warning. Sarn nodded. To everyone who hears us, this is the human protocol. Remember, learn, protect. Jor looked out at space. The flesh may be gone, but the spirit is alive in steel, in memory, in hope. The ship set course for the star's dot, and far behind, Earth continued to watch silent, strong, and never forgetting. The cold silence of space was shattered by the hum of the Dusk Runner as it approached the dark planet below. Earth, long abandoned by flesh but alive with steel, awaited them. Captain Threx stood at the bridge, eyes sharp, sensing the tension. Before anyone spoke, We're close, Kotal said, scanning the planet's surface. Sensors picking up movement. Movement? Sarn frowned. This planet was supposed to be dead. No life, no machines, just memories. Kotal shook his head. Not memories, war forms. Threx's gaze hardened. Explain. Automated. Defense machines, Kotal answered. Old war forms built to protect Earth's secrets. They were dormant, but something woke them. Jor, standing near the viewport, whispered, I can feel them. They remember. Remember what? Threx asked. Jor looked away. What they were built for the war, they never finished. The ship descended through thick clouds and battered landscapes. Scars of old battles visible everywhere. Suddenly, alarms blared. The Dusk Runner shook violently. Impact. Sarn shouted. We're under attack. Outside, sleek ships from the Avalon cartel appeared, firing lasers that burned the atmosphere. The Dusk Runner twisted and dodged but took heavy damage. They're trying to force us down, Kotal said. Threx gritted his teeth. We're not going down without a fight. Inside the ship, the crew prepared for battle. But as the external fighting raged, strange things happened. The ship's systems flickered. Lights dimmed and brightened. Machines in the hold activated on their own. Steel is waking, Jor said, his voice tense. The war forms are coming. Suddenly, the ship's hull shook as large mechanical limbs smashed into it. The war forms had come to the surface, and they were hunting. Shields up, Threx ordered. Prepare for boarding. The doors exploded inward. Cold, towering figures in rusted but powerful armor entered, their eyes glowing blue. They don't speak, Sarn whispered, firing at the nearest war form. One form stopped and turned slowly toward Jor. Why do you come? A voice echoed in Jor's mind, not spoken aloud. Jor stepped forward, hands raised. I come as witness. I carry humanity's last hope. The war form paused, then lowered its weapon. Threx looked around. Did you hear that? Jor nodded. They remember me. They remember the protocol. The war forms formed a circle, there. Mechanical voices rising in an eerie harmony. They are the forgotten soldiers, Jor said, left behind to guard what remains. Suddenly, the ship jolted again. Another group of pirates had boarded, cutting through the defense lines. We're trapped, Kotal said. Threx scanned for options. Jor, can you control the war forms? Jor closed his eyes. I can try. He reached out with his mind, connecting to the ancient machines. A cold wave of steel and memory washed over him. The war forms answered his call, forming ranks and moving with purpose. Protect the protocol. Jor shouted. The pirates clashed with the war forms. Metal struck metal. Lasers tore through corridors. The old soldiers fought with precision and power, defending Earth secrets with deadly force. In the chaos, Threx noticed a blinking console. That's the control center. If we can secure it, we can stop this. Kotal and Sarn nodded. We're with you. They fought through waves of enemies and malfunctioning machines until they reached the control room. JORR focused, sending commands through the network. The warforms halted their attack on the crew and formed a protective shield. The pirates snarled, realizing they were losing control. Suddenly, the room went dark. Emergency lights flickered, powers failing. Sarn shouted, "Jor, can you reboot the system?" Threx asked urgently. Jorr nodded. "If I connect directly to the source code, I can." He plugged himself into the main console, and a surge of energy flooded him. Pain shot through his mind. But he stayed strong. Images of Earth's final war flashed before him, flames, steel, screams, hope. With a final push, Jor rebooted the systems. Lights blazed, weapons hummed, and the warforms regained full control. Outside, the pirates were forced back, retreating in fear. The Duskrunner shook less. The crew stood exhausted but victorious. Threx placed a hand on Jor's shoulder. "You did it." Jor smiled weakly. "We did it. The Forgotten are awake, and they fight with us." Kotal checked the sensors. "The warforms have claimed Earth is their own now. No one will take it again." Sarn added, "The war isn't over, but Earth has new defenders." Jor looked to the stars. "And we have a new mission." The Duskrunner lifted off, leaving behind a planet no longer silent, a planet guarded by steel and memory. The Duskrunner cruised silently through orbit above Earth, its hull still scarred from battle. Inside, the crew worked quietly. The warforms had claimed the planet's surface. The machines were now fully awake, guardians of memory, protectors of the protocol. Jor stood alone in the observation deck. The blue light in his eyes pulsed faintly. Kotal approached. "You okay?" Jor didn't look away from the planet. "Something's different. I feel it." "What do you mean?" "There's something moving. But it's not steel. It's warm. It's human." Kotal frowned. "That's impossible." But just then, alarms blared. Sarn's voice echoed from the control room. "Captain, we've got an incoming ship. Human life signs confirmed." Threx appeared instantly. "Human? That's not possible. Earth was the last place." Kotal checked the scans. "I'm reading 5 passengers. All human, breathing, heartbeat, no cybernetic signals. Real flesh. Who are they?" Threx asked. The ship appeared on the main screen, a small transport vessel, old and rusted. It bore the mark of the Arcus Initiative, a deep colony project, launched by Earth centuries ago. The program had vanished after contact was lost. "They're from one of the deep colony ships," Kotal whispered. "One of the last." The message came in. A woman's voice spoke calm, determined. "This is Dr. Alina Voss of Arcus 7. We received a signal from Earth. We are returning." Jor's voice trembled. The protocol called them back. Threx leaned forward. "Open a channel." Alina's image flickered to life. Her face was pale but strong. She looked like someone who had fought to survive for a long time. "This is Captain Threx of the Duskrunner. Earth isn't safe." "Why have you come back?" Alina smiled softly. "Because Earth called us. You don't understand what Arcus 7 was. It was more than a survival mission. It was a seed. If Earth ever signaled hope, we were to return and help it grow." "Hope?" Kotal said. "There's a war going on down there." "Yes," Alina said. "But there's also something else. A voice, a presence, one that we recognize. We heard it across the stars." She turned to Jor. "It was you." Jor stepped forward. "Me? Not just you. What you carry, what you've awakened." Jor nodded slowly. "Steel remembers. But flesh heals." Alina's ship descended toward Earth. Threx turned to Kotal. "How will the warforms respond to humans returning?" "We don't know," Kotal said. "They've never seen one since the collapse." "We'll find out," Jor said. Alina's ship landed in the ruins of what was once a massive city, now a garden of broken steel and silent WATCHTOWERS. The Dusk Runner landed beside it. Threx, Kotal, Sarn, and Jor stepped out to greet the newcomers. 5 figures exited the small ship. They wore light armor and breathing masks, but they moved like humans, weak, unsure, but alive. Alina stepped forward, pulling off her mask. "We're home." Suddenly, a low hum filled the air. Warforms appeared, giant machines with glowing eyes, emerging from the buildings like steel shadows. Kotal raised his weapon. "Get behind us." "No," Jor said. "Let me speak." He stepped in front of both groups. The warforms paused. A circle formed around him. "They come in peace," Jor said aloud, but his mind reached deeper. "They are flesh, but they are the reason we remember." The leader of the warforms stepped forward. Its voice was deep and slow. "Flesh returns. But is it worthy?" Alina stepped forward beside Jor. "We don't come to rule. We come to restore." The warform tilted. "Its head, prove it." Suddenly, light burst from the earth. The ground cracked and a hidden chamber opened. It pulsed gold and red. "The renewal vault," Jor whispered. "It's real." Kotal looked confused. "What is that?" Sarn answered quietly. Final test. A fusion of steel and flesh. If humanity ever returned, this vault would judge them." "Judge us how?" Alina asked. "By your choices," the warform replied. Jor nodded. "We'll go together." Inside the renewal vault, the walls were smooth, white, and glowing. Unlike the other bunkers, this one was untouched, clean, almost peaceful. A voice greeted them. "You have entered the final judgment. Here, Earth decides if flesh can be trusted again." Threx muttered. "Who's talking?" Alina smiled. "The final AI, the first machine ever to carry human memory." The eye continued. "Each of you will face a test not of strength, but of truth." A door opened. Alina stepped through without hesitation. Inside, she saw a lab, her lab long lost in space. A child lay on a table, weak and crying. "Choose," the voice said. "Save the child. Or save your data. You can't do both." Alina stepped back in pain. "That child was my niece, and I lost her." The eye waited. "I would choose her again," Alina said. "No science is worth her life." The room vanished. Alina walked out, her face pale. The AI spoke again. "She passes." One by one, the others entered. Sarn faced his old war machine designs and saw how many died because of them. Tal faced a lie he told that left a city behind. Threx saw his past failure, the time he fled instead of fighting to protect a civilian ship. Each chose honesty. Each chose humanity. Finally, Jor entered. The AI spoke. "You are both flesh and steel. What will you choose?" Jor stood before a mirror. On one side he was human. On the other machine. "I choose both," he said. Because Earth was never just flesh or metal. It was always both. Thought and feeling, memory and breath. The AI was silent for a long moment. Then it spoke. "You have passed, all of you." The vault opened fully. Trees grew from the walls. Light filled the sky. The steel softened, and the warforms stepped aside. Alina fell to her knees, tears in her eyes. "We're home." Weeks passed. Flesh and steel worked side by side. Alina's team began planting seeds. Warforms cleared rubble. AI systems guided power grids back online. For the first time in centuries, Earth breathed again. Jor walked through the green fields growing over broken buildings. Birds had returned. The air was warmer. Kotal joined him. "Never thought I'd see this." "Neither did I," Jor said. But Earth didn't need saving. It needed remembering. Threx looked up at the sky, now clear and full of stars. And now it has both memory and hope. Sarn added, maybe it's time to send a new signal. Not a warning, but an invitation. Jor smiled. Let the stars know. Earth is alive again. Flesh has returned and steel welcomes it. The new Earth was quiet, no longer broken, no longer forgotten. Cities still lay in ruin, but between shattered towers and crumbled roads, green life pushed through. The warforms worked beside human hands. Machines that once only fought now built bridges and planted crops in the heart of the once dead capital. A meeting was taking place, one that could change the future of the galaxy. JORR stood at the edge of a marble platform built atop old steel. The new Earth Council, made of humans, AI cores, and warform commanders, had gathered. Flags of forgotten nations waved again. Though many no longer meant borders-only memories, Kotal stepped beside Jor. They're waiting for you. Jor took a deep breath. Am I even ready? You're the only one who is, Kotal said. The council chamber was open to the sky. Around a circular table stood the faces of this new world: Alina from Arcus 7, Captain Threx of the Dusk Runner, Sarn the engineer, and two warform generals. Echo 1 and Vault-12. Alina was the first to speak. Our signal reached 23 colonies, some replied. Others are silent. Why silent? Asked Threx. Sarn frowned. Because they're afraid. The name Earth still carries fear. Jor looked at them all. Then we remind them. Earth is no longer a battlefield. It's a home. But is it? VAULT-12 said in a deep, cold voice. The galaxy watched as Earth created war forms, AI weapons, and dead cities. Now they fear those things will return. Jor nodded. Maybe. But we didn't survive all this to hide. We came back to heal, not conquer. Kotal added, that's why the legacy matters. What you do now, Jor, will define everything. Echo 1 stepped forward. Then it is time. A door behind the platform opened. From it came a group of children. Half were human, the other half something new. Small figures with human eyes but artificial limbs. Skin mixed with soft steel and warm flesh. Alina's eyes widened. Are they? Yes, Jor said. Born of both. They are the first generation of the steel-blooded. Sarn stared in awe. I thought they were just a myth. They were, Jor replied. But Earth made it real. The oldest child, a girl named Rhea, stepped forward. Her voice was soft but clear. We were born in the vaults. Raised by machines. Taught by humans. We are not one or the other. We are both. The warform generals knelt, a gesture of respect. Never shown before. Echo 1 spoke slowly. They carry memory and emotion, precision and instinct. They are what Earth was always becoming. Suddenly, alarms blared. Kotal rushed to the console. Unidentified ships entering orbit. No response to hails. Threx's voice was tight. What kind of ships? Kotal's hands flew across the controls. Hybrid design. Some old Earth tech, some unknown, but heavily armed. Another. Pirate raid? Sarn guessed it. Jor shook his head. No, something worse. The ships came into view, black hulls. Red glowing symbols. Alina's face went pale. The Red Line Fleet. Threx looked grim. I thought they were destroyed during the Exodus War. They weren't, Jor said. They've been watching, waiting for Earth to rise again. The lead ship sent a message. It played across the chamber speakers. Earth is not forgiven. You built weapons that scarred the stars. Now you dare return? We come not to conquer, but to erase. Silence fell. Then Threx stood. Then we remind them who we are. Jor turned. To the children. Rhea, are you ready? She nodded. We've trained for this. We don't want war, but we will defend. Kotal looked at Jor. They're just kids. No, Jor said. They are Earth's future. And that future is stronger than fear. The Dusk Runner led the fleet. Behind it, old Earth defense drones, new hybrid ships, and 3 floating steel gardens prepared to protect their home. In orbit, the Red Line fleet moved like shark, silent and full of hate. Jor R stood at the command deck of the Dusk Runner, his eyes glowing with protocol light. "Send them a final message," he ordered. Sarn pressed a button. A signal beamed out. "To those who fear what Earth was, see what we are now. We are not war. We are survival. We are memory. We are steel and blood. We will not strike first, but we will stand." The Red Line ships paused. Then they fired. Explosions lit up space. "Shields!" Threx shouted. Kotal gritted his teeth. "Main barrier holding, but not for long." From behind, Earth's new fleet opened fire. Missiles, light cannons, rail beams. They pushed back hard, fighting not to destroy, but to hold. Suddenly, Rhea's voice came over the comms. "We can help, we're ready." Jor hesitated. No, but Rhea had already moved. She and 5 others, steel-blooded, launched from a small transport sleek. Fast, built by warforms for this very moment. The enemy focused fire on them, but the children moved with impossible grace, dodging blasts, disabling systems, not killing but blinding, disarming, warning. One enemy ship exploded, its own weapon overheating. A result of Rhea's hacking. "They're retreating." Kotal shouted. Jor watched in awe. "They're not just children, they're symbols," Threx added. "They're Earth." Within minutes, the remaining Red Line ships jumped away, defeated by precision, not destruction. Hours later, the sky was calm. In the council chamber, the steel-blooded stood before the leaders. Rhea said, "They will return, others too. But we will be here." Alina placed a hand on her shoulder. "You've done what we could not. You've earned this world." Jor turned to the council. "Then let it be written. The age of the steel-blooded has begun. Earth is not just reborn. It's redefined." Sarn smiled. "No longer forgotten." Kotal added, "No longer feared." Threx concluded, "No longer silent." The stars blinked above them. A new message left Earth that night. To the galaxy, we remember the mistakes of flesh. We honor the strength of steel. But we choose something better. We are steel-blooded. And we are home.